welcome back to the video lecture series on digital communications. In this session, we will discuss the concept of source coding techniques. Right? So basically, what do you mean by coding? What do you mean by source coding? What is the source coding technique? Right? We will cover these 3 points. The first one is coding. Coding means a set of messages. Given set of messages are mapped into a new set of messages. That mapping is one-to-one. So here the set of messages are M1, M2, M3 up to MM. Those are mapped into C1, C2, C3 up to Cn. That mapping is always one-to-one. What it indicates is the message M1 is mapped to C1, M2 is mapped to C2, the message M3 is mapped to C3, similarly Mn is mapped to Cn. Right? So the transformation is always one-to-one. What do you mean by one-to-one? One-to-one means, so here these are nothing but the given messages. Here it is nothing but the code words. The message M1 is assigned to the code word C1. Message M2 is assigned to code word C2. Message M3 is assigned to C3. And similarly message Mn is assigned to Cn. That indicates this is called as one-to-one mapping. Right? Each message is assigned to a unique code word. Why these codes are used? Why we are using these codes? The first one is data compression. To compress the data, we are using the codes. What do you mean by data compression means? Your file size should be compressed. That is, for example, in sometimes we are compressing the data or we are compressing the file before uploading it to a mail. When you want to send a file to your friend through mail, sometimes we are compressing. That means zip file is we are sending to your friend by attaching it to email, because the size of the file is more. That's why we are making it as a compression, that means in zip format, and then we are attaching to the mail, then it is sent. Right? Once again, in sometimes your file is compressed. Compressed means zip file. We are compressing our file and then attaching to a mail before sending to your friend or somebody. Right? That is nothing but data compression. For data compression, these codes are used. The second one is for cryptography. What do you mean by cryptography? Cryptography means it is a science of protecting the information in a secured format. It is a method of protecting our information in a secured format. What it means? If you look at here, two terms are there. Crypt. The meaning crypt means hidden. Crypt means hidden, where graphy represents writing. Graphy represents writing. That indicates our original information is represented in the form of hidden writing, which is called as cryptography. Third one is data transmission. To transmit the data from source to destination, we are using the codes. Right? For example, let us say your message is X. Instead of transmitting X, I am converting this X into some code C, and then I am transmitting. Let us say some code C1, then I am transmitting. Okay? And the last one is data storage. In order to store our data, that means maybe either audio files or video files, we are using the codes. The simple examples are, we are using basically pen drives. 4 GB, 8 GB, 16 GB, 32 GB and so on. Right? So in order to store our data, we are using these codes. Right? What are the advantages of these codes? The first advantage is it improves the transmission efficiency. The transmission efficiency is improved. That means if the codes are not used, the efficiency is less. For example, if the codes are not used, if the efficiency is, let us say, some 80%. If the codes are not used, the efficiency of the transmission is 80%. If you are using the codes, then this efficiency is automatically increases up to 95% or sometimes 99 also. By using the codes, we are improving the transmission efficiency. The second advantage is reducing the probability of error. What it means? Reducing the probability of error. Reducing the probability of error means, for example, if you are transmitted as 100 bits, then at the receiving end we are getting 10 errors. We are getting 10 errors. What it means? 90 bits are received correctly at the receiver side. Right? If the codes are used, then by using the codes we can get only 1 or 2 errors. By using these codes, the number of errors are reduced. That is the meaning of statement. How it can be reduced means, if you remember, the second advantage is we are reducing the errors by using error detection and correction. What it means is, if you remember the schematic of digital communication system, the channel encoder is used in the transmitter and the channel decoder is used in the receiver. The function of the channel decoder is to detect and correct the possible errors. Right? So with the help of the coding, we are detecting and correcting the errors so that the probability of error is reduced. Third advantage is security is provided for the information. That indicates by using the codes we can send our information in a high security. By using the codes, our information is protected from the third party persons, which is a main important part in military applications, which is the most important in case of military applications. Right? So these are the 3 advantages of coding. Next one is source coding. What do you mean by source coding? If you remember the block diagram of digital communication system, so these two are the first 2 blocks. These two are the first 2 blocks. That is discrete information source, that means discrete memoryless source, and second one is source encoder. The function of the source encoder is, it will convert the symbols or the messages into binary form. The function of the source encoder is, it will convert the symbols or messages into binary form by using some algorithm. For example, the output of discrete memoryless source is X, Y and Z. Here I am considering as 3 symbols. Right? The source encoder map X is mapped to, let us say, some 101. The symbol Y is mapped to 110. The symbol Z is mapped to, let us say, some 311. Right? So the function of a source encoder is, it will map or converts the symbols, these symbols into binary form, that is always 1-to-1 mapping. Okay? So this conversion can be done by using some algorithms. For example, Huffman coding, that is Huffman coding algorithm, and Shannon-Fano coding algorithm. Huffman coding algorithm. Second one is Shannon-Fano coding algorithm. Shannon-Fano coding algorithm. Okay. So we will see some few definitions related to source coding. The first definition is length of the code word. The first definition is length of the code word. What it means is the number of bits present in a code word. Length of the code word is defined as the number of bits present in a code word. For example, let us say the code word is 110, right? So in this code word, how many number of bits are there? So it is 1, this is 2, 3, 4 and 5. So which is nothing but the length of the code word. How many number of bits are there in a code word? If you consider another, for example, 1001101. What is the length of this code word? In this code word, we are having as 7 bits. Look at here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the length of the code word becomes 7. Right? So length of the code word is defined as the number of binary bits present in a code word. That is the first definition. Second one is average code word length. Second definition is average code word length. What do you mean by average code word length? Average code word length means what do you mean by average code word length? For example, some 3 messages are there. Those 3 messages are mapped into some codes. What is the average number of bits per symbol is called as average length of the code word. So mathematically it can be simply represented as L capital L equal to sigma I equal to 1 to n, ni into p of ni. Ni means the number of bits present in a code word, which is called as length of the code word, multiplied by p of ni means the probability of that particular message. P of ni means probability of that particular message. Probability of that particular message, where ni represents length of the code word or code word length. Length of the code word. Right? Now L is nothing but it is the average number of bits per symbol. Okay. Third definition is code efficiency. That means what is the efficiency of the code when we are converting the message into binary bits by using some algorithm. What is the efficiency of that particular code, or what is the efficiency of that particular algorithm? So which is calculated as L minimum by L, where L minimum is representing as the minimum possible value of L. If you remember, L is nothing but average code word length. Capital L is average code word length. L minimum is representing the minimum value of L. Okay. Fourth definition is redundancy. Fourth definition is code redundancy, which is equal to 1 minus eta, where eta is nothing but the efficiency of the code. So these are the 4 definitions. So these are the 4 definitions related to source coding. Okay. The next one is source coding theorem. Next one is source coding theorem. It is a Shannon's first law. This theorem is proposed by Shannon, who is the father of information theory. What it says is, it gives the relation between L and H. It means L means average code word length, H means the entropy. Right? So this theorem states that a source, that is a DMS means discrete memoryless source with entropy h of x, average code word length L. For any source coding technique, these two are bounded as L greater than or equal to h of x. That indicates average code word length is always greater than or equal to entropy of the source. Okay, so this theorem is proposed by Shannon. Once again, source coding theorem gives the relation between average code word length and entropy of the source. Right? So, average code word length is always greater than or equal to entropy. So, we will see one of the source coding technique, that is Huffman coding algorithm. Source coding means it converts the message into binary form by using some algorithm. Okay, so one of the algorithm is Huffman coding algorithm, which is introduced by David Huffman in 1952. Introduced by the scientist David Huffman in 1952. Right? So what it says? So Huffman coding algorithm is a lossless data compression algorithm. So it is a data compression algorithm. That means we are compressing our original data. When you extract that data, there is no loss of information. For example, before sending a mail to your friend, your file is compressed, that is in zip format. Okay, so the file is attached to your mail and it is sent to your friend. When your friend download and extract that compressed file, so all the information is available. That indicates there is no loss of your data. Right? So Huffman coding is a lossless data compression algorithm. Right? The second one is, this algorithm has a variable length code. It is a variable length code. What do you mean by variable length code? So basically codes are two categories. The first one is fixed length codes. First one is fixed length codes. Second one is variable length codes. Second one is variable length codes. Variable length codes. So what do you mean by this fixed length code and variable length code? For example, I am casting as three symbols. Let us say X, another symbol is Y, and another symbol is Z. I am casting as three symbols. So these three symbols, that is in case of fixed length codes, X is mapped to, let us say, 101, Y is mapped to 110, Z is mapped to 111. Right? So if you look at these three codes, the number of bits, that means the length of the code word is nothing but 3. Here also the length of the code word is 3. Here also the length of the code word is 3. That indicates in case of fixed length codes, each and every symbol is assigned to the fixed length of the code. That means here the number of bits, 3 bits are required. Here also 3, here also 3. But in case of variable length codes, here the same symbol X is mapped to some 101. The symbol Y is mapped to 11, let us say 01. The symbol Z is mapped to 11. Right? So if you look at this carefully, the number of bits required, that means the number of, if you look at carefully, the number of bits, that means the length of the message, here it is 3, whereas in this case the length of the message is 4. in case of variable length codes, I am considering the same symbols. X is mapped to, let us say, some 10. The symbol Y is mapped to 110. The symbol Z is mapped to 101. Okay, if you look at carefully, the length of this code word, the length of the code word means the number of bits present in the code word is 2. Whereas the number of bits present in this code word is 3. Whereas the number of bits present in this code word is 4. So you can look at here carefully. So that indicates it has variable length. That means the length of X is 2, whereas length of Y is 3, length of Z is 4, which is called as variable length codes. Right? So Huffman coding is a variable length code. That indicates it assigns variable length codes to each input message or each input symbol. Right? So Huffman coding is an optimum code which has minimum code word length, which has minimum or lowest possible value of L. If the L value is low, means the efficiency is increases. Huffman coding has lowest value of L, right? That indicates it has the maximum efficiency, right? So before going to the algorithm, let us consider an example. Let us consider an example. So please try to understand the example, how we are solving the problem. If we understand the process, then the algorithm is very easy. Okay. So before going to the algorithm, so we are solving one problem. The way how we are solving that problem, that is nothing but the algorithm. Okay. Once the problem solution is over, then we will write the algorithm. Now look at here. The example is apply Huffman coding procedure for the following messages ensemble. Apply Huffman coding procedure for the following messages ensemble. That in here is given as X. That is, the messages are X1, X2, X3, X4, and the probabilities are 0.4, 0.1, 0.3 and 0.2. Okay, that indicates the probability of X1 is 0.4, probability of X2 is 0.1, probability of X3 is 0.3, whereas the probability of X4 is 0.2. Right? So before solve this problem, you can look at the probabilities. The sum of the probabilities must be always equal to 1. You can verify it. So 0.4 plus 0.1, 0.5 plus 0.3, 0.8 plus 0.2, it is nothing but 1. Now you can start the problem. Okay. Now the first step in Huffman coding algorithm is, the first step is arrange all the messages in the order of decreasing probabilities. First one is message, second column is probability. So write in decreasing order. So what is first one is 0.4, first one is 0.4, next decreasing means it comes into 0.3, then 0.2, last one is 0.2. So 0.4 means 0.4 is nothing but message correspond to X4. So it is, this one is X4. 0.3 means correspond to X1. 0.2 means it is X3, whereas 0.1 means X2. Okay. So all the messages are arranged in the order of decreasing probability. Next one is we will add. Second step is combine the last two message probabilities. Combine the last two message probabilities and rearrange all the probabilities in decreasing order. So if we add these two, 0.2 plus 0.1, which is nothing but 0.3. Okay. So arrange in decreasing order. So this one is 0.4 is as it is. So this one is 0.3 is as it is. So this 0.33 is obtained by adding these two. Right? So this grouping is called as reduction 1. The grouping is called as reduction 1. Why it is called a reduction 1 means previously we are having as 4 probabilities, now we are getting only 3. Okay. Third step is combine the last two message probabilities and rearrange all the probabilities in decreasing order. So that indicates 0.3 plus 0.3, which is equal to 0.6, which is equal to 0.6, and this 0.4. Okay, this one is called as reduction 2. This grouping is called as reduction 2. Right? So what we are doing, the first step is all the probabilities are arranged. So the first step is all the messages are arranged in the order of decreasing probability. Second step is the combine the last two message probabilities, that means which message has the least probabilities, and rearrange all the probabilities in decreasing order, which is called as reduction 1. Third step is combine the last two probabilities in reduction 1 and rearrange the probabilities in decreasing order. Okay. So this process continued until two probabilities remain. In the last column you must have only two probabilities. Okay. Now how to assign the codes? Assign binary 0 to upper probability, binary 1 to lower probability. Assign binary 0 to upper probability, binary 1 to lower probability of the last reduction. Right? So look at here carefully. So this 0.4 is nothing but this 0.4. You can check it once. Okay? So that means the code for this 0.4 is 1. So this 0.4 is nothing but this 0.4. This 0.4 is nothing but x1, x4 probability, which is equal to the code for x4 is 1. Okay. Now see here, this 0.6 is obtained by adding these two probabilities. By adding 0.3 and 0.3, we obtain 0.6. That indicates this 0 is common for these two probabilities. That 0 is common for these two probabilities. Right? Assign binary 0 to upper one, 1 to lower one. Assign binary 0 to upper one, 1 to lower one. So look at carefully here. This 0.3 is nothing but this one. You can see here. So this 0.3 is nothing but this 0.3. So this 0.3 is nothing but this 0.3. You can check it once. So this 0.3 is nothing but this one. So the code for x1 is 0, 0. The code for x1 is 0, 0. Next one. We can obtain this 0.3 by adding these two probabilities. That indicates this code, that is, this code is common for these two probabilities. That is, 0, 1 is common for these two probabilities, and assign binary 0 to upper one, 1 to lower one. Assign binary 0 to upper one, 1 to lower one. Now, the code for this 0.2 is 0, 1, 0. The code for this one is 0, 1. So look at here carefully. The code for x4 is 1, x1 is 0, 0, x3 is 0, 1, 0, x2 is 0, 1. Right? Next one. So this is the codes. Message, probability, the code is for x4 is 1, x1 is 0, 0, x3 is 0, 1, 0, x2 is 0, 1, 1. Once you assign the codes, the next step is you can find the length of each code word. Find the length of each code word, right? So your table becomes like this. That is for x4 the code is 1, x1 0, 0, x3 0, 1, 0, x2 0, 1. Right? Now write the length of each code word. How many number of bits are there in this one? 1. Whereas for x1 number of bits are 2. For this one, that is 0, 1, 0, the number of bits are 3. For 0, 1, 1, the number of bits are 3. Write the length of the code word for each message. Next one is calculate the average code word length. Calculate the average code word length. What it is? The formula is L equal to sigma equal to 1 to n, ni into p of ni. That indicates the length of the code word is multiplied with the respective probability. So, which can be simplified as L equal to, don't expand this sigma function, you can directly write these two. That is, this probability, 0.4 is multiplied with 1, plus 0.3 is multiplied with 2, plus this 0.2 is multiplied with 3, plus this 0.1 is multiplied with 3. That is the summation. Which is equal to, the probability is multiplied with the length of the code word. That is 0.4 into 1 plus 0.3 into 2, that is the number of bits required is, plus 0.2 into 3 plus 0.1 into 3. Okay? Now, which is equal to, this value is 0.4 plus 0.3 into 2, which is equal to 0.6 plus this one is 0.2 into 3, which is equal to 0.6 plus 0.3. Okay? So, which is equal to 0.4 plus 0.6, which is 1. This one is 0.6, this which is equal to 1.9 bits per message. 1.9 bits per message. That is the way how to calculate average code word length. Okay? So, what we are doing here, it is average code word length means this probability is multiplied with the length of the message plus this probability is multiplied with this length of the message, this probability is multiplied by the length of the message, this probability is multiplied by the length of the message. Okay? You can simplify by using calculator. Next one is calculate the entropy. How do you calculate this entropy? So, you know the formula for entropy, that is h of x equal to minus sigma k equal to 1 to m pk log pk base 2. Right? So, that indicates pk means the probability of that particular message. So, what are the probabilities? The probability series this one, which is equal to, so h of x equal to the probability minus 0.4 into log 0.4 base 2 plus 0.3 into log 0.3 base 2 plus 0.2 into log 0.2 base 2 plus 0.1 into log 0.1 base 2. Okay, so see here minus as it is pk log pk base 2. That means 0.4 log 0.4 plus 0.3 log 0.3 plus 0.2 log 0.2 plus 0.1 log 0.1. Okay, so you can type this equation as it is in your calculator. Okay. which is equal to minus of 0.4 log 0.4 plus 0.3 log 0.3 plus 0.2 log 0.2 plus 0.1 log 0.1. Okay, the value is 0.55. The value is 0.55. H of x equal to 0.55. Look at here carefully. That is base 2. We need to calculate log base 2. So you can type this equal as is. In our calculator we are having as log base 10. How to convert log base 10 into 2 means the total value, that is the total value is divided by log 2, that is which is equal to log 2 base 10, which is equal to 0.55 by log 2, which is equal to 1.827 bits per message. Okay. Next one is the efficiency of the code. So which is equal to, so next one is calculate the efficiency of Huffman code. So which is equal to entropy by L. The value of entropy is 1.827 bits per message. The value of L is 1.9, if you remember. Okay, so calculate the value, which is equal to 96.15 in terms of percentage. The efficiency of the code is 96.15%. Right? Now we will write the algorithm for Huffman coding. What is the first step in Huffman coding algorithm? Okay, so remember the process how we solved this problem. Right? So the Huffman coding algorithm is the first step. All the messages are arranged in the order of decreasing probabilities. That is the first step. We are arranged all the probabilities in decreasing order. What is the second step? Combine the last two message probabilities. That means we are adding the messages which are having the lowest probabilities and rearrange all the probabilities in decreasing order. This grouping is known as reduction one. That is the second step. So combine the last two message probabilities and rearrange all the probabilities in decreasing order. This process is known as, that is the reduction one. That means we are reducing one probability. Third step is combine the last two message probabilities. Combine the last two probabilities of reduction 1. Last two probabilities of reduction 1 and rearrange the probabilities in decreasing order. This grouping is known as reduction 2. This grouping is known as reduction 2. So repeat this process until two ordered probabilities remain. That indicates in the last column only two probabilities will appear. Okay. The fourth step is assign binary 0 to upper probability and binary 1 to lower probability of last reduction. That is very important. That is the right side column. We are assigning binary 0 to upper probability, binary 1 to lower probability of the last reduction. Okay. The next step is go back. That means we are assigning binary 1 and zeros from right side to left side. So that is assign binary 0 and 1 for all the combinations till the first column is reached. So we are moving from right side to left side by assigning binary 0 and 1. for each column. Now repeat this process until the first column is reached. So the assigning of binary 0 and 1 from right side to left side, this process continued until the first column is reached. Next step is write the code for each message. Code for each message. That is what is the code for each and every message. Next one. Calculate average code word length. Calculate average code word length and entropy. Average code word length means L value, entropy means H of x. Finally, calculate the efficiency of the code. Calculate the efficiency of the code. That is the Huffman coding algorithm. Right? So once again, remember, algorithm. The first step is all the messages are arranged in the order of decreasing probabilities. Second step is the combine the last two message probabilities. Last two messages means the messages which are having as lowest probabilities, and rearrange all the probabilities in decreasing order. This grouping is known as reduction 1. Third step is combine the last two probabilities in reduction 1 and rearrange all the probabilities in decreasing order. This grouping is known as reduction 2. So repeat this process until we can get only two ordered probabilities remain. That means in the last column only we have two probabilities. Next step is assign binary 0 to upper probability, binary 1 to lower probability of the last reduction. Okay. So now go back and assign binary 0 and 1 for each column. That is from right side to left side until the first column is reached. Once the assign of codes are over, write the code for each message and write the length of each message. Calculate the average code word length. Calculate the average code word length and entropy. And finally, find the efficiency of Huffman code. So that is the Huffman coding algorithm. Right? So to understand in a better way, we will solve another problem for better understanding. The problem number 2. So apply Huffman coding procedure for the following messages ensemble and find the efficiency. So here 5 messages are there, x1, x2, x3 up to x5, and the respective probabilities are 0.4 is the probability of x1, 0.2 is the probability of x2, 0.1 is the probability of x3, 0.1 is probability of x4, and 0.2 is the probability of x5. Right? So before solve this problem, you can verify the sum of the probabilities equal to 1 or not. So verify it. So which is equal to 0.4 plus 0.2, 0.6 plus 0.1, 0.7 plus 0.1, 0.8 plus 0.2. It is 1. The sum of the probabilities is equal to 1. Now you can solve the problem by applying Huffman coding algorithm. Right? So the first step is, what is the first step? Arrange all the messages in the order of decreasing probabilities. So the first one is message, second column is probability, second column is probability. Okay, so the probability, so decreasing order means this value is 0.4, then 0.2, then we have 0.2, 0.1, and last one is 0.2. So 0.4 means the 0.4 corresponds to x1 message, 0.2 corresponds to x2 message, Next point 2. Point 2 correspond to x5 message. So point 1 means this x3 and the last point 1 is x4. So we are arranged all the messages in the order of their decreasing probability. What is the next step? Combine the last two message probabilities. Combine the last two message probabilities and rearrange all the probabilities in decreasing order. If we add these two, point 1 plus point 1, which is equal to point 2, you can rearrange. So it is, this point 4 is as it is, this point 2 is as it is, so this point 2 also as it is. So we are arranged all the probabilities in decreasing order. So this grouping is called as reduction 1. This grouping is known as reduction 1. So what is the next step? Combine the last two message probabilities in reduction 1 and rearrange all the probabilities in decreasing order. So 0.2 plus 0.2 is, which is nothing but 0.4. So this 0.4 is as it is, whereas this one is 0.2. So we are having as 4 probabilities here. Now it will becomes 3. So this grouping is known as reduction 2. This grouping is known as reduction 2. Right? Now combine the last two probabilities in reduction 2 and rearrange all the probabilities in decreasing order. So 0.4 plus 0.2, which is equal to 0.6, and this 0.4 is as it is. So this grouping is known as reduction 3. Okay, so this process continued until the two ordered probabilities remain. So in the reduction 3, we are having only 2 probabilities. So you can stop this process. So what is the next step? Assign the binary 1 and binary 0 for the last reduction. Right? So assign binary 0 to upper probability, binary 1 to lower probability. Assign binary 0 to upper probability, binary 1 to lower probability of the last reduction. Right? So look at here carefully. So this 0.4 is nothing but this one. You can check it. Okay? So this 0.4 is nothing but this 0.4. So this 0.4 is nothing but this 0.4. So the code for x1 is 1. The code for x1 is 1. Now, so by adding this 0.4 and 0.2, we obtain 0.6. That indicates binary 0 is common for these two codes. That means these two probabilities, right? And assign binary 0 to upper probability, 1 to lower probability. Okay? So see here, this 0.2 is nothing but this 0.2. You can check it once. This 0.2 is nothing but this 0.2. So this 0.2 means this one. So the code for x2 is 0, 1. The code for x2 is. Now we obtain this 0.4 by adding these two probabilities. That is 0.2 plus 0.2 is nothing but 0.4. That indicates this 0, 0 is common for these two codes. 0, 0 is common for these two codes. Now assign 0 to upper probability, 1 to lower probability. Assign 0 to upper probability, 1 to lower probability. So look at here carefully. This 0.2 is nothing but this 0.2. So which is equal to the code for x5 is 0, 0, 0. Right? Now last one. This 0.2, we obtained the 0.2 by adding these two probabilities. What it indicates? That means 0, 0, 1. So 0, 0, 1 is common for these two probabilities and assign 0 to upper probability, 1 to lower probability. Assign 0 to upper probability, 1 to lower probability. Now the code for this x3 is 0, 0, 1, 0. x4 is 0, 0, 1. The code for x3 is 0, 0, 1, 0. Code for x4 is 0, 0, 1. Right? Next one is write the length of each message. Write the length of each message. So length. Write the length of each message, that is Ni. So the length of this message is 1, that is 1 bits. Here it is 2. The number of bits here are 3, whereas in this case 4. Here also we are having as 2. Okay. So length of the message means how many number of bits are present in the code word. So in this code word the number of bits are 1, whereas here the number of bits are 2. Here is the number of bits are 3. In this message number of bits are 4. In this message the number of bits are also 4. Okay. Next one. You can calculate average code word length, that is L value, and entropy H. Finally you can find the efficiency. So average code word length. So L. So L equal to, that means the probability is multiplied with the corresponding length, that is 0.4 into 1 plus 0.2 into 2 plus 0.2 into 3 plus 0.1 into 4 plus 0.1 into 4. So that means 0.4 into 1 plus 0.2 into 2 plus 0.2 into 3 plus 0.1 into 4 plus 0.1 into 4. Right? So now you can type this one in calculator and you can obtain answer. 0.4 into 1 plus so the value is 2.2 bits per message. So 2.2 bits per message. Right? Next you can calculate the entropy, that is H of x. Entropy H of x. You know the formula? Substitute in the formula, use the calculator and find the answer. So which is equal to minus of 0.4 log 0.4 base 2 plus 0.2 log 0.2 base 2 plus 0.2 log 0.2 base 2 plus 0.1 log 0.1 base 2 plus 0.1 plus 0.1 log 0.1 base 2. Right? So operate the calculator as it is in your Calc. So Calc gives log value with base 10. Right? So type the equation as it is. 0.4 log 0.4 plus 0.2 log 0.2 plus 0.2 log 0.2 plus 0.1 log 0.1 plus 0.1 log 0.1. Okay, so its value is 0.638. Here minus is there. So h of x equal to minus of minus 0.638. So by log 2. Remember always that is log 2 base 10. So we calculate this value by using calculator with base 10. But in our problem we want to calculate entropy with base 2. So that means the total value divided by log 2. That is 0.638 by log 2. Okay, so which is equal to 2.119 bits per message. the units for entropy is bits per message, that is 2.119. Right? So the last step is find the efficiency of the code. Okay, so remember the values. So one is 2.119 H value, whereas L value is 2.2. Efficiency, which is equal to 2.119 by L value is 2.2. So into 100 in terms of percentage. 2.119 by 2.2, which is equal to 96.31 in terms of percentages. So the efficiency code is 96.31. So that is the way how to solve the problem using Huffman coding algorithm. Right? So try to solve these questions. First question is, in this question we have 5 messages. Okay, by applying Huffman coding algorithm you can find the efficiency. In the second problem, total 5 messages are there with respect to probabilities. Okay, you can calculate the coding efficiency. And the third one, in third problem we have 6 probabilities with the respect to probabilities. So calculate the coding efficiency and redundancy. And the last one is 7 messages are there with different probabilities. You can apply Huffman coding algorithm and find the efficiency. Okay, right? So in this session we discussed what do you mean by coding. Okay, why the coding is used, what are the advantages of coding, what do you mean by source coding, and few definitions like length of the code word, average code word length, coding efficiency and redundancy, and finally Huffman coding algorithm, which is one of the source coding technique. Okay, thank you.